Good morning, fellow billionaires.
Good morning.
Last month we did a lecture on saving and the and the temptation that can come when you are saving your money. And I've been coming to this place for the past 5, 7 years. One of the things that happened to my saving is that when I have a need, whether family needs or friends or business, I go to the savings and just pick up some money, thinking that, of course, by the next day or next 2 days, I'm going to replace the money. So I was planning for my mother's 85th birthday this Saturday, and I needed to do some things. Of course, 85, you cannot repeat the birthday again. We have to do it once, maybe 90 next. So, and I was tempted to go to my savings and withdraw some money, maybe 500K or 1 million naira. There was no money in the expenses account. So I was just saying, no, I won't withdraw this money. In fact, the hall we took before, I have to tell my sisters, no, let's cancel that hall. Let's use our own small place. They said, why are you just telling us now? I say, I'm sorry. I just give them excuses. But before I got to that birthday, I received an alert of almost 1 million naira. Not from the job, from my hospitals of other business that I have. Probably some people that have written letter for reference letter abroad and things. Somebody just called me. They have two friends that want to do similar things like that. They need a reference letter, a doctor to sign. And I said, okay, are they ready now? They said they are ready. And they said 500,000 naira twice. So I didn't go to that savings. And for what they've told us, I even removed percentage to be saved from that money to put into that savings. And everything has been like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bench. And will you be at this after? I need to have something. So that's a wonderful testimony.
Savings. We've been taught several times here that you don't save and unsave. That's the style. Save and unsave. You have to be disciplined. Discipline. It's important. If you're not disciplined, the money will not come from elsewhere. And when you have money in your account, it calls more money to come. But when you're unsafe, it don't go. So it's a principle that we have to imbibe. You have to do it by fire, by force, or else no progress. You just be coming and be going, no progress. I need one more person to give us a testimony. I know we've learned a lot, and then just share a bit of what you have learned and your practice. Can we have one more person? Then we move. Anybody as we move on? Who else want to share testimony? Nobody. Okay, let me share this one then. We move. We've been taught here to do affirmations. And a couple of weeks back, I put down some affirmations about my sales. I'm a real estate guy. That I want to make a particular sale. And then I kept, writing it and affirming it, writing it and affirming it. And I was surprised that a client, called me up and then he gave me a property to sell for him. There's some, when you do affirmations, you set things in motion. And by the time those things begin to come to pass, even you yourself, you can't stop them. But alas, some of us don't do this. And then it's not the best. It's not the best. So I began to affirm that, and this client gave me this property to sell. And within 4 weeks, it was sold. I mean, I was amazed. Even the person that gave me the property, it was like, Kiloshi, what did you do? What did you do? He even wanted to like cut out of my commission. Because it was like, this thing is too fast. What did you do? Even my agents here and there, I'll still see them. They will do this, they will do that. I just laugh. This man does not know who he's playing with. So, affirmation. Write it, say it, affirm it is going to come to pass. I can tell you for free. So, before you now come and say, you also want to come and see me, like I want to see Dr. Besh. The commission don't go, so just forget about it. It has gone to where it's supposed to go to, savings and all of that and all of that. So thank you. Clap for me too now. Clap for me. Okay, yeah. So like I said, we moved. Please help us put your phones on silence if you have not done that. Help us put it on silence. We don't want any disturbance from any quarters. So like I said I want to share something beautiful with us today, and then you said you wanted to hear. First and foremost, I want us to rise on our feet and give a clap offering for our mentor in the house, Dr. ABEOKUTA. Please rise up and give him a round of applause. Thank you, Doctor. If you are watching us, we love you, we appreciate you. Please be seated majestically. The wonderful thing I want to tell you is Dr. Abib loves us so much, especially in this ABEOKUTA branch of 110 Academy. We have some special people in our midst today, and they are here not to come and collect our billions that we are trying to, gather, but they are here to come and help us to even make more billions, like Mrs. Olajumoke Jackson has been doing. They are here to give her more support, and we welcome them. Let's clap for them. You don't know them yet, but you can just be seeing them. Okay, so I have the privilege and the honor to bring one of them up now to take a session. And I'd like you to listen as I bring her up. So I'm going to be reading her profile. Onyebisi Oyinlola Ogundeji. With a solid background in mass communication and additional certifications in human resources and project management, Onyebisi Oyinlola Ogundeji brings a wealth of experience and expertise to our field. Our professional journey spans multiple sectors, including health, education, and hospitality, where she has consistently excelled in managerial roles. Through her career, Onyebisi has honed her leadership and management skills, earning a reputation for her strategic approach and result-driven mindset. As a seasoned executive, Onyebisi currently serves as the general manager of a group of hotels where she oversees a dynamic team of over 135 staff members. I think you should clap. It's not easy to manage people. Oh my God. Leveraging her core strengths in people management, including recruitment, selection, supervision, delegation, and mentoring. She is deeply committed to fostering a workplace culture that prioritizes well-being and inclusivity, ensuring it serves as a haven for both employees and the organization. So with 110 clapping ovation and standing ovation, let us welcome up stage Onyebisi Oyinlola Ogundeji as she takes us on this session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Please, let's have our seats. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
It's so wonderful to be at 110 ABEOKUTA. We've had a lovely section in Ibadan and Lagos day before yesterday, and I'm very sure that we are going to have a wonderful time today also. So as he had rightly said, the group of hotels he's talking about is Academy Suites. So I'm the general manager for the 3 branches of Academy Suites, and I'm glad to be here today. So today, my main purpose is to share some tips with us that will help us in achieving the aim of the main seminar of today. Our main seminar of today is the life of a billionaire. How do we live the life of a billionaire, basically? So what I'll be talking about are the things that we must have known before, so we discussed together on the things that we can do to be able to get to that height of becoming a billionaire, to be able to stay there and to be able to excel in it. And so the topic is self-leadership. The hardest person you will ever lead is yourself. So when I joined Abibolamitoye organization, I discovered that if I didn't work on myself, I would be relegated to the background. And not only that, I would soon find myself out of the organization. Because at that time when I entered, there were people in place that, in fact, my direct supervisor then was doing exceptionally well. And I discovered that for the first 2 weeks, I was doing practically nothing. And then I told myself that I have to work on myself to be able to become something and stay here. And I've been in the system for about 8-9 years now, and I've grown along the ranks. So we are going to talk about leadership tips. What are those things that we can do to become the best of ourselves? I like using some things to illustrate when I'm talking, when I want to present. I like using videos, tips, and something that is relatable to us to illustrate what I'm talking about. So I don't know how many of us have watched this. It's a movie. It was released 20 years ago. Yeah, 2006, The Pursuit of Happiness. Please, how many of us watched the movie? Thank you so much. So the story is about Chris Jenner. He invested the bulk of his savings into a scanner machine, a small portable scan machine, I think a density machine or something. He went broke because the business failed totally. And in the process, his wife left him, he lost his home, and he started looking for ways to, and he got custody of his child. That was the most interesting thing about it. He got custody of his child, and he started looking for ways to make ends meet. In fact, he slept in motels with his child. He slept in a park with his child. There was even a case that he slept in the bathroom with his child. And so some of the things that I learned from this video then, which has still stayed with me, and when I was preparing for this, I just remembered that how did this guy scale through that? If we look at it, even when he was broke, he was still dressing like this. For those of us that watched the film, he would stand up every morning, even from that park, even from the bathroom. He will come out of that bathroom dressed up like this. He maintained that standard of dressing smartly, nicely, and confidently when going out. He goes out very early. He taught his child so many things during the process of that journey. His child learned so many things. For those of us that watch it, you will see there was a time at the park, he was talking and he was telling the child so many things on how to move forward. So even when later he got a job, an internship job, an unpaid job for a stockbroking firm. And how did he get that job? He was going with his son and he saw a man coming out of a car, a very beautiful car. And he said, what? He complimented the man. You look nice. Your car is wonderful. What have you done to, what did you do to become this person? And the man said, I'm a stockbroker. And he showed him his office. And he went there and said he wants to become a stockbroker too. You know, so I was like, there are so many lessons in that film. He not only, number one, he appreciated good things. And then he looked at what the steps can I take to become that same person that this man is. And they told him that the only position available is internship, unpaid, for an unemployed man with a son, without a home. But he took the job. It was very tough, but he later became, he later got a full-time position, and he became one of the greatest stockbroker. In fact, it's a biography of a man. That man was, the name of the actor there, Chris Jenner, was the name of the person that story is all about. So let us look at some of the things. Like I said, I'll be referring to that video to talk about some of these things. Number one is our personal standards. I'm going to look at three things. The first one is personal standards. How do you treat your time? Even in the midst of no time, we have 24 hours, everybody. And some people will say, I do not have time. I was supposed to come to work. I do not have time. I have children. I do not have time. I have to take care of my children. I have to take my children to school. I tell my staff, if I have 2 kids, I take them to school. My son is the punctuality prefect of the school. He has never, in fact, nobody has gotten to the school before them. Since I always take them to school, nobody. They get to school the first. And I tell them that if I have 2 children, I have to take them to school, and I come to work before you, and you come and tell me that something, that is why you are coming late. How do we treat our time? How do we manage our time in such a way that we're able to balance things up, even in the midst of no time? I can understand that sometimes it can be very overwhelming. The 24 hours is not enough to do what you have to do. But that is where creating a to-do list comes in. We should have personal standards. People should know us that this person, even when she's tired, she will show up. You have a job you are supposed to deliver. You are a caterer, you're supposed to bake a cake. They have a wedding. The wedding is starting by 12 p.m. They should know that if we give her, she will deliver. She will deliver before 12. In fact, when it is 11 o'clock and we've not seen you, and people are complaining, people should be able to say, no, we know her, she will deliver, just be rest assured. And to the surprise of everybody, you will get there before 12. So we should have a personal standard. How do you show up even when you are tired? What you tolerate from yourself. Do you allow your body to dictate what you do? I was asking one of my colleagues that you were so tired and very sick yesterday, and you are at work. She said, yes, I have to rise up and go. When it's morning, I rise up and go. How many of us rise up and go? Or we sit back and say, today is not a good day. Let me stay back. What if it's that day, God, that a miracle will happen? Or is that day that somebody will bring a great job that you will have, that will turn the situation of your life around, or will turn the business around? So it is very important. What are the standards you are currently living by? What are the goals that we have set? For example, some of us have set goals that we are supposed to have achieved in January. I hope we know that out of those, maybe we set 20 goals for 2026. Maybe 2 or 3 of them were supposed to be achieved in January alone. But maybe because we have not set standards for ourselves, we have let them slide back. And January has gone, and today is the 5th of February. And February, you know, February is a very fast month. It will soon be 28 now. So what are those things? Let us check our lives. Are you pushing forward, or you are being comfortable? You are comfortable where you are, you are not moving forward. This statement that I put here, it says, self-leaders don't live by excuses. They live by value. For those that have made it, if we are talking about people that have made it, when we are talking about making it big, they don't live by excuses. They live by self-value. They place value on their self. They place value on their business. They place value on their principles. They hold on to it. This is who I am. I am an honest person. Nothing can change it. I am a giver. Nothing can change it. So we should have those standards and we should stick to them. Discipline and decision making. Choosing what you want most over what you want now. And when our class governor was talking about savings, he said savings, affirmation, and everything. There are so many things that we want now. Okay, let's use the example that he gave us of there's a party coming up. His mom 85th birthday. That is a great thing. The mom is clocking 85. It's something to be celebrated. You can empty your account for it. But would you do that? He didn't do that because he knows that is what is to be done now, but that is not what is most needed. He could understand that he has a future that he's planning for, and he has to save money for it to be able to attain what he wants. So we should be able to discipline ourselves, make a decision. I have saved. Last month we talked about saving. Today is not going to be mentioned. We want to become a billionaire. I have saved. I have determined that I will not touch these savings. In our organization, a couple of months ago, we did mutual funds, and Dr. Shenwola Mitoye spoke about how you can save, how much you can make, and he told each staff that, let's say you have been working here for 5-10 years, and you are saving 5 million naira per month, and he made a calculation of how much you would have made in 10 years. And a lady stood up and said she has been in organization for 10 years. And she does not have 1 million naira savings. According to that calculation, she would have had more than 1 million naira savings. She came back later to meet me and said, can you imagine? 5,000 naira. And she would have become a millionaire. So we should make a decision and stick to it. And one thing about it is that decision making and discipline is not an inborn trait, it's a learned skill. It's something we have to learn. Oh, be more anybody. You have to learn, you have to be determined that I have to wake up by 4 a.m. or if it's 5 a.m., I have to wake up by this time. I have to write my affirmation. It is not easy to do many of the things. In fact, many of the things that will make somebody a billionaire, it is never easy to do them. It is not easy to succeed. It has to be a determination with a determined skill, a learned skill to be able to achieve them. And now the why behind action. The ability to connect immediate actions with long-term goals. The ability to connect immediate actions with long-term goals. One of it is us being here. Maybe your goal is to become a successful entrepreneur. How do I do that? I have to attend a seminar that will teach me personal development skills, that will teach me saving skills. So what are those things that we are doing now? Are they driving us towards our goals, or they are keeping us back? Or they are drawing us back? Or they are keeping us on the same spots? Those are the things that we have to sit down and look at. Our long-term goals, our present goals must lead to it. And you know that when you do your goals for the year, you still have to break it down. For example, if my goal is to take academic suits to become the best hotel in Southwest Nigeria, I have to break it down that Odife Road branch will make this also amount. Ososami branch will make this also amount. Then I have to go to customer service and say for customer service, they should do this, they should do that. Then I have to go, you understand, I have to break it down. So we have to break down our goals into tiny bits that will lead us into what we want. And then internal control, having internal control over our thoughts, our actions, our behaviors, our family. If somebody is saying that I need 1 million naira now, it's very, very urgent, do we have control over ourselves to say no? As in, do somebody's emergency become our own problem? You get, some of us, we empty our savings and say, I've done it once. When I finished, so many years ago, I wanted to do a master's, and my brother wanted to do, he said he wants to do a course. And I was supposed to pay, and then I used the money to pay for him without even sitting him down and asking him if he wanted to do that. Anyway, he only went for 2 weeks, and he did not go again. And so my money wasted, and I did not, you understand? So how do we empty our accounts for people unnecessary? Do we have control over ourselves? Do we have control over our thoughts, over our actions? Can we say no when necessary? It is very, very important. And then emotional control, the realities of life pressure. That's just like the last one I just said. I can understand that there are so many things, burial of an elderly person, birthday. There are so many needs that needs to be met and wants. We should be able to determine which of them we want to do. And then reactions versus response. When things happen, how do we react? Do we react or we respond? You know there's a difference between the two. Response is when you just, somebody walks in now and say, hey, you idiot. And I say, you too, you are an idiot. In fact, you are this, you are that, you are that. That is response. But that is reactions, right? That is response. Is reactions. Why the other one is looking and saying, let's even know what is even wrong with this person. Is the person okay? Maybe it's not even somebody I should be talking to or at all or giving response to. Maybe we'll just say, please sit him down and give him water. It's not okay. So how do we react or respond when things happen? And it's very important to pause before responding and reacting. Do not let emotions make permanent decisions for us. And so this one is something that we need to ask ourselves. We don't need to stand up to do that, but it's something that we can write down and ask ourselves later. Before you lead people, before you manage opportunities, before you pursue big outcomes, before you become a billionaire, or before you maintain your present billionaire status, I believe we are all billionaires. We call ourselves generous billionaires, so we are all billionaires. Before you maintain your present and keep to the top and aim to become better, ask yourself these 3 questions. Can I stay disciplined when no one is clapping? Even when no one is seeing your efforts, when no one is seeing when no one is saying that you're waking up 4 a.m. to read, to write, you are developing things for your organization, you are having training for your people, you are coming to seminar like this, nobody is seeing you now. Can we remain disciplined? And number 2, can I keep promises to myself? I promised myself this year I'm going to save, I'm going to open a mutual fund account, I'm going to save 10% of my savings in my mutual fund account. Are we going to stick to that? That's a promise you make to yourself. When we write our affirmations, when we write our goals and we say, I will do this, it's a promise. Are we going to keep to it? And number 3, can I control my emotions? Can I not let everything around me affect me to change those goals, those decisions that I have made? All these are what will help us to be able to stick in that billionaire state that the main speaker of today, and also be able to save more that the second speaker is going to talk about. So those are very important things, and that's basically what I want to talk about today. Let us try as much as possible. For the questions, let's write it down so we can answer it later in our own private space. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. All right, thank you. So I've been given the honor to introduce our second speaker for today. I'm going to read out his profile. In 2021, Dr. Seun Olamitoye joined the management team of Abib Olamitoye organization as the Chief Operating Officer, COO. Although a medical doctor by training, he also holds a master's degree in business administration, a qualification that has strengthened his ability to make strategic, data-driven decisions. Throughout his career, he has leveraged this knowledge to refine service delivery, implement performance-enhancing initiatives, and elevate customer experience across all branches of the Abib Olamitoye organization. With a strong commitment to continuous improvement, he consistently seeks innovative ways to align operational excellence with customer needs, ensuring every interaction reflects the highest standards of quality and care. He is well equipped with entrepreneurship skills and has walked through the ranks in all the different operating best practices. He has continued to drive service excellence and great impact in the expanding hotel chain. Please join me to welcome Dr. Oluwaseun Olamitoye.
Thank you. Please sit down. Hello. Good morning, everyone. So today we'll be talking about saving and what exactly saving is. So saving is a habit, and we'll be talking about the mindset of saving today. So there's a famous quote by a philosopher called Aristotle. It says that you are what you do every day. You are what you do every day. That means success is not an act, it's an habit. It's something you do repeatedly. So that is the same with saving. You have to do it repeatedly. It's not something you do once, you undo the next month, you do it again, and then you undo again. It is a habit. You do it repeatedly. And that is how to build wealth slowly. So why is saving so important? Saving is so important, especially in a country like Nigeria, that unforeseen circumstances can come at any time. You have a car, you're driving down the road, and then suddenly someone hits you and your bumper falls off. What happens? You have to fix it. You cannot drive your car without a bumper. You need savings. You need savings for unforeseen circumstances. And then you need savings for what? Financial independence. People who work salary jobs, your boss can all of a sudden decide that, okay, I don't need him anymore. Your constant source of income is what is gone. You need at least 6 months of your salary in savings. It's very important. And then you need savings for your capital gains, savings that we're able to multiply for you in your old age. And that's mainly what we're going to be talking about today. Savings for what? Capital growth. And then, especially in a country like Nigeria, and that you have different opportunities that people don't really know about. In this picture here, you can see what Dangote is having an IPO this year of his refinery. All his other businesses, his cement, his flour, all his other businesses are listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. But this is a great opportunity this year with the refinery having its IPO. If you don't have savings, can you invest? Can you maximize in opportunities like this? So, as I said, success is what? It's a habit. You are what you repeatedly do. And saving is something that you must do repeatedly, and it must be consistent. So when you receive any amount of money, when you receive your salary, or you're a business owner and you receive your capital, what is the first thing you do with your money? Do you spend first or do you save first? It's easier said than done, but most people, the first thing they'll do is spend. They'll spend the money first, and then whatever is left, they save after. You don't have the mindset of saving. If you are the first thing you do is you're spending. Okay, I have this, I need to quickly get that. No. The first thing you do is what? You save. You have a particular amount that you keep that, okay, whenever I receive money, this amount is going into savings. And it must be automatic. You get money from your salary, a particular percentage goes into saving. You get unforeseen money, a particular percentage goes into saving. It is a habit. It must be habitual. And then you must always allocate money for specific purposes. So in the as we've been talking earlier, some people said that, okay, you have unforeseen circumstances. You have a wedding, someone's birthday comes up. You must budget your savings. Savings is not just one whole sum. You must have a budget for your savings. So when you're saving, you must have savings for what? Capital growth. These are savings for your long term. Savings that you know that, okay, in 20 years, that is when I'm going to use these savings. You must also have savings for emergencies. So, okay, suddenly my grandmother is turning 85, I forgot. This particular amount of savings is for what? That type of emergencies. So you know you must budget your savings. So nothing should be a surprise to you. You have savings for emergencies, savings for families, for your family. So you know that, okay, this comes up, I use this money for that. So nothing comes as a surprise. A lot of people just put their savings in one whole sum and then remove. No, that's very wrong. You must budget each part of your savings so things don't come up as a surprise. So someone comes up, they say, okay, my birthday is coming up. I have an amount I save for friends. Okay, my savings, I have only 100,000. I cannot surpass that. This is what I have. I'm sorry. So it does not affect your capital gains savings, the amount that you want to multiply. So in the next slide, we'll be talking about that, the budgeting formula. You must know how much you're keeping as your savings. If you're earning 100,000 and you're using this formula, 20,000 is your savings. That's the first thing you do when you receive your money. 20%, that's 20,000 will go into your savings. And then your needs, what are your needs? Things that you cannot live without. Your rent, your transportation. You're always going to spend money on that. And then your wants. The ladies, they want to buy ashobi, they want to buy wig, lace. The men, they want to spend on their women. For those who have side chicks, they want to spend on their side chick. Those are wants. They're not things that you need specifically. So you must have a budget for everything. And as I've discussed earlier, your savings. On that 20%, you must have another budget on your savings. Savings for what? Your long-term growth. Savings you want to multiply, your capital gains. Then savings for short-term emergencies, things that you know are foreseen that will come up. Yes, I've discussed this as well. You have your savings. You should divide it into what? Things you know that are going to come up. You have your savings. Let's say you are newly married. You know that in 18, 19 years, you want your children to go to school in America. You can save for that. The savings that you're saving for your children in 18, 19 years should be different from the savings you have for your goals, your capital goals. You should allocate your savings into different categories. It's very important. So there are different tools of savings, especially in Nigeria. You have something a lot of people in Nigeria do. They use kolo. They'll keep their money in a kolo or keep it under their bed. That's a means of savings. It's not a good means of savings, but it's a means of savings. You have your normal savings account. Most people who are not business owners use savings accounts. They'll give you 4 to 10% in a year, depending on how many times you withdraw on that savings account. Then you have pensions. People who work in government also are very accustomed to that. The government will naturally take a percentage of your money and keep it in pension, and that when you turn 65, 70, they give you your returns. Each of these have different interest rates. And this is the meat of the presentation, your compound interest, the interest you get on your savings, because that's very, very important. That's where we're going. The capital gains, there must be returns on your savings. And you have mutual funds. I think everybody here knows about mutual funds. Is there anyone here who does not have a mutual funds account? Or has never heard of mutual funds? Okay, one or two people. We'll discuss that in a later topic, but it's very important that you have something that maximizes the amount of savings you have. And you have different wealth managers, GTB, Stanbic, they have different separate wealth managers that can give you different percentage. For our Gen Z and people who are young here, a lot of people know about CoreyWise and PiggyVest. Who knows about PiggyVest? Okay, there's some old people who know about PiggyVest too. But yeah, if you use PiggyVest, especially with their lock safe, they can give you 20% per year. You lock it, but that money is locked. Hell or high water, you die, that money is there for that 1 year. You cannot remove it. As one of the benefits of mutual funds, you can remove your money at any time. You should not remove your money because it's for capital gains, but in case of anything, you can always remove your money with mutual funds. So these are the different ways of saving. And why I brought this slide out and why it's very important is you must always go for what? Highest interest rate and the safest institution. If you are keeping your money in a piggy bank under your bed, it's not safe. Especially for men, your wife can just come and take a little for shopping, take a little for whatever needs she wants. You must keep your money in secure financial institutions. And our pictures are not showing. So, Parkinson's law. So this is a law that states that when your income increases, naturally your costs increase as well. So someone who is earning 100,000 normally, he could survive easily with 50,000. Easily. But all of a sudden he gets a promotion at work. He's now earning 1 million. Now he cannot survive with 50,000. All of a sudden, his lifestyle creeps up to what? 800,000. He cannot. He says, nah, he was drinking Heineken before. No, now it's Red Label and champagne. That he has suffered. He must now enjoy life. And that is that's very dangerous because what? It reduces the percentage that you are saving. So now that you are earning more, you should be able to save more. Is that not the logical thing? But humans are very illogical. The moment we earn more money, you say, no, let me enjoy a bit more. Your savings should not decrease because you're earning more money. You should always find a way to have a certain percentage. So if he could survive with saving 20% on 100,000, why can't he survive with saving 30%, 40% on 1 million? You have to delay gratification, have long-term goals with your money. And yes, you must secure your savings. It's very, very important. As I said, the different institutions that you can save in, it's very important that you save in institutions you trust. Save in big banks, especially when you are saving and then your money is getting bigger. Your money is getting bigger. You get 100 million, 200 million. You should not be saving in an institution that can go bankrupt at any time. Save in secure financial institutions. And this is a very Nigerian factor. Do not tell people how much you have in your savings at any time. Like now, you told me that you just got some income. I think I'll come to your house as well after. Please try not to put numerical values to how much you have. It is very dangerous in a country like Nigeria, and we know how relatives are naturally. Okay, suddenly you tell your family members, these last 4-5 years, I've saved 10 million. All of a sudden, an emergency will come up that I need 2 million, and you seem heartless if you don't give them that money. they will spin a story that touches your nerve, that they need this money or they'll die. So please try as much as possible not to put the information out of how much you have totally in your savings. And yes, I said compound interest. So with this, your savings, you can keep your savings. Yes, it's good, but you're shortchanging yourself. You're not maximizing the gains if you're not maximizing on interest. And they said interest is what? Compound interest is one of the 8 wonders of the world. It is something that's amazing and can really maximize how much you gain in the long term. And then I'll be showing you with some examples here. So it's not too clear, but I'll be able to explain it well. So you have someone who is earning 200,000 and he manages to save 50,000 every month. And he does this religiously for 15 years. So what do you get? At the end of 15 years, he has put in himself 9 million. 9 million at the end of 15 years by saving 50,000 religiously every month. But with an interest rate of 18%, that's around the average you get with mutual funds and all these Nigerian banks. At the end of 15 years, he has only put 9 million, but with compound interest and never withdrawing, he has 36 million. So that's how much? 25 million free from interest alone, from compounding, his money doubling and doubling and doubling over time. So you can see that keeping your money at home, you're shortchanging yourself. That is 25 million free, doing nothing, just from the bank. So you have to be very wise where you keep your money. Another example, someone is saving 200,000 monthly, and he does this religiously for what? 15 years. At the end of 15 years, he will have 36 million that he has put in of his own money. But at an interest rate of 18%, that same 36 million that he put, he would have gained what? 146 million. So you can see, imagine he kept his money alone in a normal savings account. Can you see the difference between 4% and 18%? Keep your money in institutions that will maximize your saving. You already have the habit of saving, but maximize compound interest with this saving. You are really shortchanging yourself if you are not applying these rules of wealth. He's saying there are some people in this room who I know can save 2 million every month. Who can save 2 million every month? No. Well, there are some people that can save 2 million every month. So at the end of 15 years, he will have saved 360 million by putting 2 million every month. That's how much he would have put in. But at that same interest rate of 18%, you have what? 1.4 billion. So he has put what? 360 million. But doing nothing, calling no clients, going to Lagos to source for goods, no stress, just keeping your money in a bank, stress-free, being diligent, having discipline. He has earned close to what? 1.3 billion extra from just interest. So that's the meat of this presentation. Let compound interest work for you. With your savings, savings is just one part of it. Having compound interest build on top of it, it's very, very important, and you must maximize this wonder of the world. Thank you very much. Okay.
Good morning. Generous billionaires. I'm sure that with what you have heard today, we can go home. Can't we just go home? Don't you have enough motivation to just go and save. Because before we start talking about the typical life of a billionaire, you have already arrived at billionaire status. The least he shared was the person that was saving 50,000 a month. If you save 50,000 a month, it's a matter of time. Billionaire status is yours. And we had heard about self-leadership before we heard about what your savings can help you become. So the only way you'll be able to even save and keep saving and not touch it is to lead yourself. By the time you combine those two, like I said, we can actually conveniently go home. But since we have come to hear about a typical day in the life of a billionaire, let's take it a step further and learn what will make it easier to do those things they have spoken about. So this morning, we are going to check the typical life. And then a few people have asked, why are we checking a day, I keep saying life, a day in the life of a billionaire? Because that's where we are going. And to get what somebody else has, you are going to have to go and check how they got there. What are they doing? How do they arrive at their level of success? I'm going to leverage a lot on the things we've heard already, because really, all those little bits are what make up the whole. The truth is, there's really nothing new under the sun. We are not teaching anything new. We are just putting together all the different things you have heard before under one heading so that they will make perfect sense to you. So when Mrs. Ogudeji was speaking, she spoke about in the pursuit of happiness. She spoke about Jenard meeting a stockbroker, liking his car, liking his lifestyle. So when he wanted to replicate the results, what did he do? He went to check the life of that person he admired. All of us are the Mark Zuckerberg of our generation. We also want those kind of results. We want to be Elon Musk. It's inside every hip-hop song you hear now. They will mention Elon Musk. They will mention Dangote. Everybody is singing about it. So if you want to be a billionaire, you want to replicate the results of a billionaire, what do? You check out the billionaire. What is he doing? What is she doing? What are they doing right? And then in the process of doing this investigation, like I said, there's nothing new under the sun. There's no point reinventing the wheel. Research has been done. What is common to these people we call billionaires? Like Dr. Yusuf said in Lagos yesterday, the most common feature of a billionaire is that their lives are guided by rules. They are predictable. There is a how to how they live. There is a structure to how they make decisions. There is a when you can see them. It's permanent. If you say, sir, I'm coming to your office tomorrow, what they will check before they check that particular day is the day of the week. There are days of the week you cannot see them. There are times of the day you cannot see them. As a matter of fact, those who talk to PAs understand without checking the day. If you say I'm free at 2 o'clock, they will say that's when he eats. You cannot see him. They don't need to check the timetable. They can tell you the times you can come, the days you can come, the months that he's free. I called someone this morning and I said I wanted sponsorship from Bovas. And the person does not work in Bovas, but he knows the MD of Bovas. He said, what month is your event? I said March. We don't give out money. It doesn't work there. We don't give out money in March because it is Lent. See, there are rules. The same way some Muslims, once it is Ramadan, they are focusing on God. They will not attend your party. They can send you something. And these people that have arrived at success, they guide their life with rules. So if we want to get the results they get, we had better learn self-discipline. We had better start from self-leadership. Of course, we started the year discussing savings. Because no matter how little you save, it is only a matter of time. You will get there. But, subtly, when Mrs. Ogudeji was talking, she kept differentiating between getting there and staying there. I'm sure many of us have met people that got there, but did not stay there. As a matter of fact, if you know anybody that has won the lottery before, you are sure the person got there. But you know, that same principle we were discussing, I think it was Dr. Sheil that mentioned it, that, I have suffered, I must enjoy. Maximum 1 week. The billion or million he was given will drop to less than, you know, it's 1 naira that is between 1 billion and less than 1 billion. So they would have just, that thing that's been paying you all your life, just buy it. Even if it's 1 bowl of ice cream. That 1 bowl of ice cream, you are no longer a billionaire. You have already changed your status from gratifying your flesh. It's just that one thing. I cannot come and go and die. YOLO. What's the meaning of YOLO? Exactly. There's no life after here. And then when we are talking about savings, you now hear people say, what if I die tomorrow? So all this money that I have saved is somebody else that will spend it. Let me chop my money small. My question is, what if you live for another 30 years? What will happen when you have chopped the money? Then you will not be able to stretch it over time. So today we are focusing on how you allocate your time. Mrs. Ogundeji mentioned it already. How do you treat your own time? It shows us where you are going. We're also going to be talking about the habits of billionaires. We are learning it because we will get there. But we don't just want to get there, we want to stay there. Who is a billionaire? Somebody whose net worth is over $1 billion. You know, now people begin to differentiate. I want to be a billionaire in dollars because they know Naira now, when you even say billion, it's not really tripping us again. But even in Naira, how many of us are there? On Tuesday, I heard something in Ibadan and I was worried. And I know that, like Dr. Sheil, I'm going to ask you to raise up your hand, but I don't want you to raise up your hand. I just want it to be sounding in your heart. In Ibadan, Mrs. Agbaje said that it is said that less than 5% of Nigerians have up to 500,000 naira in their account. Sorry, please. If you have more than 500,000 naira in your account, can you raise up your hand? Dr. Shewa said we should not tell people. So I'm not saying raise up your hand. But immediately you know yourself, you know what's there. If you have less than 500,000 naira in your account, you know yourself. Just understand automatically that means you are not a millionaire. And we are talking about being a billionaire. The earlier you replicate the habits and the attitudes that help people get there, the better for you. Because it shortens the time you need to work to get there. So first of all, let us all diagnose ourselves. You know how urgent today's seminar is for you. If you have less than 500,000 naira in your account, maybe you should move to the front and understand that they are prescribing the drug to get you out of where you are. So you should be the first person to take this medicine that we are dishing out today. Now, Robin Sharma says that the way you start your day determines the way you will live your life. How many of us watched that video that was posted? I think it was posted on Sunday from the words of our mentor, spoken here. You ABEOKUTA people are enjoying it because that video was recorded here. And he explained, somebody called me immediately, they heard the first sentence. Why is your boss putting us under pressure? He says if you do not wake up before 5 a.m., you cannot prosper. The person didn't even watch the video and see what happened. And then if you wake up after 6 a.m., you are finished. But you see, the truth is the way you start your day determines exactly how your life will be. And it was when I was listening to Lagos seminar yesterday that I heard. So what do you do when you wake up? Almost everybody picks their phone. Why are you picking your phone? To check the time or to see notification? After checking the time, do you see the person that sends you a message? The minute you see the person that sent you a message and you check because you saw something that first is one line you saw, but that one line is interesting. Or you saw a post about an influencer on Instagram that you have turned on notifications for, and then you just click. That just click can be 2 hours. And Dr. Yusuf said one thing that even me, I started thinking about it that way too. You have clicked. Some people are paid by the number of clicks. You have abandoned your dream. You have abandoned your vision. You have abandoned your prosperity to make somebody else prosper. Whether you know it or not, that's what you are doing. So today, let us all resolve that we are changing the way we wake up. Even those of us that practice savers, we first of all check Instagram. Before we remember that, okay, that's true. Today, all that is going to change. Billionaires don't work harder, they work smarter. Let me read it out the way it's written there. They design their days with precision. From the biology of the 4 a.m. wake up to the psychology of 10 p.m. wind down, they have specific routines that separate the successful from the ultra successful. You are successful when your needs are met. You are successful when you don't have to beg for food. But you are ultra successful when your success means that the needs of so many others are met. When the livelihood of so many others depend on you, and you are not working harder to make that happen. You are just living your day the way you would ordinarily live your day. Now, routine beats willpower. Willpower is you deciding you want to do this and then going to do it. But what is routine? Routine is doing what you will do at standard temperature and pressure. You don't need to think about it to do it. There's an analogy I would like to use. Although it's bad to text and drive, some people can because they are not thinking about driving. Some people have mastered it to a level that they listen to audio messages when they are driving. And they are not thinking about driving, they are thinking about the message. Because they have trained themselves to know the distance to maintain between their car and the next car. They have trained their vision to see if a car is coming from here. They can monitor all the mirrors at the same time. They don't need to monitor the mirrors actively from their consciousness. And so they can discuss with somebody in the car. They can listen to an audio message. They can actually do other things because their subconscious takes over driving. That is routine. That person can avoid accidents automatically because if the space between you and the car in front of you is getting too much, you would have pressed the brake before you even realize you are pressing brake. That is what routine does for you. And the trip is, it doesn't actually matter how long you drove last. Same thing with riding the bicycle. Once you have switched into your automatic, the automatic takes over. So, rich men will forever get richer. We have heard the rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer. Is it because the poor men are not deciding that they want to be rich? Willpower is about decision making. Routine is about automation. So the rich people have things they do, whether they want it or not, whether they like it or not, whether they think about it or not, they will do it automatically. And that is why Dr. Shehu made us love the concept of giving, told us the benefits of giving. You're not really going far if you're not automating it. If every month you still have to decide whether you want to save that money or not, you know you cannot derive the benefits of that compound interest. It was beautiful when he said you contribute 36 million, you earn 100 and something billion. It's fantastic. You earn 1.4 billion when you contribute 360 million. It's beautiful, yes. But if you have to make a conscious decision to do it every time, your mother will be 85. And it depends on the type of pressure you are under. You know 85 is party, so you feel you have a choice. They will be in the hospital. You know it's not the same thing. But if they have removed the money before it reaches your hand, is it not what we have we will spend? If you don't automate it, you can't get there. So take away that decision of whether you want to or not. Take it out of consideration and just do it. Nike. So if there is a direct debit that moves the money from your account to your mutual funds every month, do they need to come and ask you questions? No. And then you can then be talking about 1.4 billion being added to your 360 million because you don't even have a choice. You are not deciding anymore. You decided once and for all and it becomes automatic. Same thing with your lifestyle. If you establish the routine of a billionaire, you don't need to decide whether you want to be a billionaire or not. You don't need to decide whether you need to trigger anything because automatically you have set it in motion. How many of us know dominoes and how to play it? You click one, and then everything starts falling on top of themselves. And that's why today we are learning about the typical day in the life of a billionaire, so that we will trigger automation. Things will fall in place automatically. That's if you don't go and remove one block in between and make it stop. And then you have to start all over again. Success is not an act of force, it's a product of habit. We are what we repeatedly do. We're going to talk about Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. club. Robin Sharma has a concept of 66 days to install a habit. If you are able to repeatedly do the things we speak about this morning for 66 days, is about 2 months and a week, then you will not need to even think about it to do it. You will begin to do it automatically. Citing an example, I studied overnight every night for 3 weeks. When I was done with that process of my life, I had to go and see a doctor to stop waking up at 10 p.m. to study overnight. That's my sleep has scattered. Now that's 3 weeks. And that's why I understand when some people say it takes 21 days to form a habit. If you form that habit, you have to consciously break it. This is something that happened to me this year. So I know, if you do it consistently, if you say you wake up at 4, wake up at 4 every day for a month, you will wake up at 4. You need to decide to go back to sleep, to stop. That's how routine beats willpower. Your body will be used to it automatically. It will adjust to the system you have taught it. So if you are what you repeatedly do, then the first thing to do is decide what you will do. Repeat it until you become. I believe we've laid a very good foundation. Everything else is commentary. These are things we hear about day in, day out. But I remember that in December, people kept asking, what is savers? How do we practice savers? How do we go about it? Now, all the billionaires anywhere, you can check Google, you can ask AI, what habits do billionaires have? The most common habit of billionaires is that they wake up early. And when they wake up, they focus on themselves. One thing you know is between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m., every billionaire you know, except if the money happened to them. You know, there are billionaires that money happened to them, they did not happen to money. The ones that inherited it, they might have a different lifestyle. But the ones that had to make the billions, one thing that is common to all of them is that between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m., something has already happened. And that was why our mentor in that video was saying, they have already decided how your own day will go between 4 and 7. If you are waking up by 7, the world has finished what they have to do for that day before you wake up. So you're just waking up to catch up. Or you're waking up to live somebody else's dreams. You're waking up to collect somebody else's to-do list and make sure what they said will happen that day happens for them. The rule, 80% of the success of your day is determined in the first 3 hours of your day. Now, many of us, our first 3 hours will not start till 7. By that 7, some people's day are finished. And so you know that you'll be living with what they have left, not what you should have. Billionaires got their mornings fiercely. It's used for growth, it's used for clarity, it's used for discipline, before the distractions of the world intrude. Win the morning and win the day. Now, personally, there are times when my ringing phone gives me anxiety. But how many times does your phone ring before 7? There are times when I feel like throwing away my phone because too many people are calling me. How many of those people will call you before 7? There is peace and quiet. As a matter of fact, when my children are on holidays, I take a walk for 1 hour between 6 and 7 because nobody wants to eat breakfast or bathe and go to school. Nobody will be late. I can decide what my physical goals are. Why? Because that time, all the other people are not demanding for your attention yet. However, I must say that everything we are talking about starts with goals. What exactly do you want from life? If you don't want anything, you might not have a reason to create your world between 4 and 7. But if you are sure of what you want, between 4 and 7, you are sitting down to cook. How is my tomorrow going to be? Your today is a result of all the years you have lived before. Your tomorrow depends totally on what you decide to do today. So do you decide to do today, or do you collect from others what they have decided you will do today? So the first principle we'll be talking about is the Saver's Principle from Hal Elrod's Miracle Morning. It's a book we've read several times before. Because we're having this conversation again, I'm sure we'll share a soft copy with the family after the session. Now, in that book, there are so many fantastic stories of how all these principles make a difference in your life as an individual and how they set you up for success. Success is what you do repeatedly, don't forget. So what is SAVERS? Is an acronym for the things you do in those first 3 hours of the day. Between when you wake up at 4 a.m., if you wake up at 4 a.m., and 7 a.m. when the official day starts and you start ascending to other people. These things, SAVERS, are the things you do every day. Do you get to take a break from breathing? If you take a break from breathing, what happens? You die. If you take a break from practicing the things that promise you success, what happens? You delay the delivery of your success. There is a book on that table called Time Management, Life Management. And the book starts from the end and follows it to the day. I'm sure 2 years ago, those of us who were here when we were setting goals, we saw that practically delivered. The first thing you start with is, what do I want my life to look like at the end? And then you break that expanse of life into 10-year bands. And then you break the 10 years into 5 years. And then the 5 years, you break it into what you want to achieve every year. Mrs. Ogundeji was talking about planning, that if I say that this is the goal I want to achieve, I break it down into what I need to do. So when you have taken your 1 year, you break it down into months. You've taken your months, you break it down into weeks. You take your week, you break it down into days. One successful day is success in the unit. To get to a successful life, you make sure that you have successful days. The minute you take a break from doing the things that guarantee you success, what happens? It just means that you have either elongated your life. You know, we planned 120 years that year. You have either elongated your life to exceed 120 years by that one day you have missed. I saw a meme on, I think it was Instagram, that for every time I don't save, I'm going to save double. By the time I saw the amount that person was owing himself, I realized he can never save again. The best way to achieve a successful life is not to install a punishment for missing it. It's to lead yourself to ensure you don't miss it, ever. And the most painful thing is, some of us here, we are familiar with savers like the back of our hand. And we have mastered the art of skipping it. We know it in our mind, but we have not embraced it in our hearts. We can teach it, but we don't practice it. He who knows, but does not do, is he in any way better than the one that does not know? As a matter of fact, is worse. So please, as we are speaking again today, we are not speaking, it's not academic exercise, it's for implementation. How do you start your morning with silence? Now, I found out that it is not academic, so you need to do what works for you. Silence, for many, is meditation. For some others, is prayer, depending on what you believe in. But I do know that there are Christians that their prayer is not done consciously, because silence is about quietening your mind. When you wake up, the day wakes up with you. It bombards you with, you did not do this yesterday. You need to do this. How do you put those thoughts down to work on yourself? That's what meditation is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you sit down, still, in one place. The thoughts will come, but you bring them down. Many of us struggle with thoughts coming because they will keep coming and we will keep fighting. And then the entire time we're supposed to spend practicing silence, we spend it fighting thoughts. Dr. B. Bolamitoye says, collect the thoughts. Check it. We are fighting. If you're fighting, you are trying not to think. Think it. And then after thinking it, you realize that that thing affects your life or the life of somebody else or the life of something else, but does not promise you what that silence, that practice of self has promised you. So you throw it away. By the time you throw away 3, the ones that are not as important as the first 3 will not come. Now, I say meditation is quietening thoughts. Are you aware that when you are praying, those thoughts come too? And then after a while of praying, you now start thinking, am I even praying or thinking? And then you abandon the prayer and you go away. So it is still the same that you used to meditate, that you used to pray. Especially the Christians amongst us that pray in tongues. You would have cooked soup, you would have swept the room. You will say you are praying in tongues, but you have gone everywhere inside your mind. The discipline of making your mind keep quiet is something you need to master to gain mastery of self. If you cannot be disciplined, if you cannot tell yourself, this is where we are going today. This is the good age, you also mentioned it. Do you let your feelings dictate where you go? Do you rise and go? Or today is just not that day, you just sit for 5 more minutes. Have you mastered the art of snoozing your alarm? Some of us, our alarm says, it's only snooze that he knows. He asks you already, you want to snooze? Because you don't do anything else but snooze. We have even mastered it so much that we know the snooze more than the alarm. After silence, you now write affirmations. I like the way this morning went because he shared a testimony about affirmations when we started. How he wrote out what his income was going to be like. I'm sure that the members of 100, anybody that has been in our midst for more than a year, has testimonies to share about affirmations. It's only if you have not done it before, or if you did it and got tired and left it. If you do it consistently, you will see the results. I know that it is difficult to change a person. As a matter of fact, nature does not permit you to override the will of a person. But I have also found out that you can override the will of a person with affirmations. There are some affirmations you will write about how people treat you that determines how they will treat you, no matter how wicked they are at heart. Your affirmations shape your world. And they are more powerful when you say, I am. Who do you believe you are? The truth is, when you go for any self-confidence class, any self-mastery class, they will tell you that people will treat you the way you permit them to treat you. However, you don't know how you permit people to treat you until you say, I am. So who are you? I was in a class, an online class, some days ago, and the person said, I am filling the blank spaces. And people started writing tired, stressed, overwhelmed. That is how you see yourself. The person that talks to you the most in this life is you. Every thought is a communication with yourself. Every time you speak to yourself, what are you saying? Are you telling yourself you are what you were? Are you telling yourself you are what you are? Or are you telling yourself you are what you want to be? The more you say it, the more it is realized. It's a self-playing prophecy. So why don't you just wake up in the morning and decide to prophesy into yourself what you want to see? Before people get to tell you what they think you are. You know, if you have convinced yourself before you leave the house that you are successful, no matter how many failures you see, you are convinced. You know it's a temporary thing. So affirmations helps you with that conversation. When you meet with failure, you remember the success affirmation you shared in the morning. And then you are able to say, no, let me try it another way. Something else will work. Eventually, something else always works. Ways to achieve the result you want. But you will not see that stumbling block as a stumbling block. You will see it as a wall if you have not spoken to yourself before you faced your day. So an affirmation is a way of shaping your world. And don't be bothered about the fact that your affirmations are about other people. I know that in this room, I've shared affirmations I have about the type of family life I have. I have an affirmation that I had to add to that family life affirmation. I am my husband's main priority, and he treats me like the queen that I am. I will share the testimony sometime. Now, it's important that when you are affirming, you visualize. As you are saying it, you are seeing it. As you are seeing it, guess what? You will feel it. And we have heard so many times that the feeling is the secret. I've had people argue with me that, are you sure this thing is scriptural? Are you sure it's biblical? Check your Bible, you see there. As a man thinketh in his heart, so easy. You are what you repeatedly do. You are what you repeatedly tell yourself. You are what you repeatedly see. If you can't see it, you can't have it. If you can't see it, you can't get there. You need to see it and hold on to that vision. How many of us have vision boards here? For those who don't have vision boards, let me give you shortcuts. When you want something, search for what you want, download the picture, put it in your phone. When you are feeling, there are times when you start feeling somehow and you're thinking, who said something to me? Why am I feeling this way? Something has happened. Somebody has brought negative vibes. Open your phone, go to your gallery where you kept the pictures of the things you want in life. You'll be shocked. The joy you find, something just starts changing from your inside. It's from visualizing. But you must be conscious at that morning time when nobody is distracting you, when your mind is quiet. See yourself in the future you want. Picture the future. Picture you in it. Add the feeling. You want a particular car. Get a picture of that car. Model, year, add. Color, safe. You can use AI to generate it now. Can you send me a picture of a 2025 model of add the car? You will be shocked. It will give you. Now, when you look at the car, tell them to give you a picture of the interior. When they give you red interior, tell them, no, I want cream. As you are looking at that cream, put on the AC in your mind. Let it blow. You know that AC that is working well used to bite. It's not the type that you need to wind down and put on AC and beg the AC to circulate before. That AC has a bite. Feel the bite. When you feel the bite, something happens to you. And that's why it's good to get some experiences. It's good to get some experience. Have friends that fly first class if you don't fly first class. So that they can send you a picture, you can see the kind of food they eat there. So that when it's time for you to picture it, you will see yourself sitting in that same seat where you can stretch your leg and then watch movie on one side. It looks like it's hugging you. If you can see it and you can feel that way, as a matter of fact, it increases your desire to get there. More than that, there's something visualization and affirmations do to you. They help you see opportunities to get there. It's when you have decided you want to fly first class that you will see that somebody is running a promo. That's when you will see that you are behind that restaurant. On my birthday, I will go there. On my birthday, I will go there. Somebody will send an advert to you. 5 women, answer this question. Tickets to restaurants. You'll be surprised. You will write wrong answer. They'll still call you and take you to the restaurant. But that's because what you focus on expands. If you are not focusing on the things you desire in life, is it the things you don't want you are focusing on? Well, sorry, what you focus on expands. So if you like, focus on the hunger. If you like, focus. I saw a newspaper this morning, I quickly threw it away. Daily Trust. It's talking about people dying. I'm not among the people that are dying. I will not know them in Jesus' name. So focus on living. Focus on, you are driving past, they are building house. Yes, that's how we will build house inside the recession. Focus on the positive things. Why? What you focus on expands. How do you focus? Take yourself on a trip. That's why children don't have problems. You finish beating them, they are turning their pots. Even though it's a tin, it's a pot. They are rolling tires. That's their car. Because they have escaped in their mind to where they want to be. And it's easy for them to reset. But you are still cradling the person that abused you yesterday. Why? Because that's what you are focusing on instead of the future you are looking for. And so you let the people offending you cheat you of your future. After visualizing exercise, now the order is not as important as the practice. Because the other book we are going to look into, that's the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma, says start with exercise. Why? Some people need that exercise to wake up. You know, it's not everybody that can wake up and wake up. There are sometimes that I'm sleeping, not the 4 a.m. That 4 a.m. has become a habit. There are sometimes that I'm sleeping, and you will wake me up, and you will talk to me, and we will talk. And you will see me and say we spoke, and I will tell you really, because I have no recollection of the conversation. Now, if it is that type of sleep that you are sleeping, look for what will wake you up. Some people need to put their leg inside water. Some people need to splash water on their face and drink 1 liter before they will wake up. If you don't need that, you might not need to exercise first. But if you need your system to wake up to catch up with the things, because when you are affirming, you need to be conscious. When you are visualizing, you need to feel it. So if you know you are still groggy, you are not fully awake, please, you can change the order. Because if you are not fully awake and you do silence, what will happen? Some people even use book to sleep. If you want to sleep, you look for a very, very boring book and you open it, you will sleep. So that's why you will not wake up and carry book. That's why you see, reading is very far from silence. But reading needs your brain to be awake. That's why the exercise is important. So that blood will be flowing around your body and it will enhance your assimilation. So exercise. But more than that, billionaires that are making this money, you know, we have said that people give themselves the excuse of what if I don't live more than 2 years? If you want to live long, exercise. There are many things that exercise will do for you. When my mom was alive, she was diagnosed of diabetes in 1994. She died in 2023. All our friends that were diagnosed with diabetes at that same time died within 10 years. Why did she not die that soon? Because somewhere she read that if you keep walking, it will help. She could walk for Africa. She'd be walk. Where are you going? She retired after 2 years. So it became a challenge to be active. But she used to walk everywhere. She will walk and go and greet somebody in the neighbor. The neighbor's child is crying. She will walk there. She's just walking up and down. And that walking made a difference. Some of us are looking for gym. We will carry metal first before we think we have exercised. It's not that deep. It's not what you do in short bursts. You are what you repeatedly do. Consistency is the most important part of exercise. Even if it is a 15-minute walk in your neighborhood, walk and do it every day. It helps you to combat your health. Of course, we'll talk about food as well. Because any exercise you are doing, you don't finish the exercise, you don't do 15 reps or whatever. It's a waste of exercise. So energize your body. There's no point making that money if you don't have the body to live long to enjoy it. So don't just live to amass wealth. Live to enjoy the wealth you are building. Reading. So after doing all these things, how do you really get what you want? What you want from life, are you going to get it simply by praying about it? Is affirming going to be enough? You have done your affirmations, you have done your visualization, the opportunity has come. But you see, all of us are doing the same affirmations and visualization. So we will now have to do an interview. They now ask you about the business you have set up to make the money, and you don't know. What will happen? They will pick the person that knows. And if the person is affirming and visualizing, he's already ahead of everybody else. So it's important that you learn. It's important that when you have decided what you want from life, you know, I said that all this is a waste if you don't know what you want. When you have decided what you want from life, it is imperative that you decide where the knowledge to get what you want is stashed. And then you systematically examine those books regularly to acquire the knowledge that promises you what you want. And as you will see, many things will come to demand your time, to demand your attention. You must only give attention to the things that promise you the future you want. You only have 24 hours. We have heard that said today. If you do not use your 24 hours to pursue what you want, you will use it to pursue what somebody else wants. That person will get their goal, you won't get your own. So make sure that every morning when you wake up, you dedicate time to finding out what will promise you what you want from life. Everything you're looking for has been stored in books. Somebody has done it before and has written about it. Read it. Even if they didn't put it in a book, they put it in an article or an interview, or they said it to somebody who wrote it down. Look for these books, look for these articles, read and understand. The next thing is scribbling. Now, there are so many things to scribble. If you are reading and you are not painting your book and you are not writing anywhere, I'm not sure you are reading. Because we said, read the books that promise you the future you desire. If you are reading the books that promise you the future you desire, you are learning what you are supposed to do. How will you remember what they said you should do if you didn't write it down? The shortest pen is longer than the longest memory. No matter how good your memory is, what you are supposed to do, knowing what you now know, you must write it down. Because that is the food for your to-do list. Mrs. Ogudeji says you should have a to-do list for your day that you use to discipline yourself and make sure you're working on your goals. Well, how do you do that if you did not write down the things you need to do to get where you are going? Another thing you need to write down is what you are grateful for. You know, we have said that what you focus on expands is a proven fact of life. So the question is, if you are focusing on everything that went wrong with your day today, what happens to your day tomorrow? You multiply the things that go wrong. So it's important that you write down the things that went well yesterday so that you will get more of those things, so that you will see more of those things. So it's important to practice gratitude. It's important to be grateful. For every cloud, they say there's a silver lining. Focus on the silver lining, not on the clouds. So even when you think you've had the worst day ever, a few days ago, I felt like that, you must make sure that you find the silver lining. If not anything, what has that cloud taught you? What do you know that you must not do again? How have you found not to do it? Write it down and be grateful. Because once you are grateful, no? Are we still together? Yes. So the more thankful you are, the more of the things you are thankful for that you get to see. Of course, that is the time to write your to-do list. You know that you have affirmed, when we did our planning of the year, our mentor told us that when you write your goals, you create affirmations based on the goals you have set. If your affirmation is based on the goals you have set, and that was what you said to yourself, when you are visualizing, you are seeing the goals you have set. If you have seen the goals you have set, you have spoken about the goals you have set, and you want to write the things you need to do today, the one question you will ask yourself is, this day, what thing can I do that will move me closer to the goal that I have set? If you can answer that question successfully, then your to-do list becomes more effective. Because you are not doing what life throws at you. You don't even know what life will throw at you today. But you have already decided that there's something that will move you further along your path. And you have put it as your most important goal for the day. And you have put it as number one. Once you are able to do that, and you are most likely going to even do something about it, most of the time you would have sent a message to make sure it happens. If I see this man, he will take me to that place. When I get there, I will get that contract. You would have sent that man a message, sir, when can I see you? You would have sent your PA a message, send me the documents for ABC. When they send you that document, you don't have a choice again but to proceed to the next step. When the person says, call me at 11, you don't have a choice again but to proceed to the next step. You would have most likely taken the most important step for your life before 7. Because you've written down your to-do list and you have already identified the things you can do to trigger the other things you need to do. And that is how we go through savers: silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribbling. Now, for Robin Sharma in the 5 a.m. club, he speaks about the lives of billionaires, and they rearranged all these things. But it's exactly what we have spoken about that he says that billionaires do. What do? They exercise intensely. He says you should divide it into 1 hour. Divide your 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. into 20 minutes. Your 1 hour, divide it into 20 minutes, 20 minutes. First one, exercise, so that your body will be awake. Second one, you will write. You know that scribbling? You will meditate. Isn't that silence? Solitude. You will process your thoughts. You will visualize where you want to go. These writing and thinking aspects of savers is what he puts in the middle 20 minutes. And then there's growth. What did he say you should do? You should read. You should study. Acquire a new skill. Become a better version of you. If you keep getting better every day, even if just by 20 minutes, you will not be recognizable in a month. Yeah. There are people that you listened to last year. The next year, when you listen to them, you go like, where do they download this knowledge from? It's because they make it a point of duty to keep learning and keep growing. You'll be surprised, but those are the kind of people you like to be around, because there's always something fresh. They will teach the same topic 12 times in a year. Every time they teach it, you learn something new. Why? Because they learned something new before they came to teach you. So improve yourself a step at a time, every day. And then the cumulative, the same way the compound interest works, that your contribution is small, but the growth is large. If you grow every day, what people will see at the end of the period will be much bigger than what you would have achieved if you try to compress your growth into one course or one training. So you must know how to prioritize, and your prioritization must be strategic. I've already spoken about it. One thing focus. When you are doing your to-do list, what is that one thing that if I do it today will jumpstart the goals I'm looking for? What one thing can I do today that will move me closer to what I want my life to be like? And we have started by saying it's habit, it's routine. What routine am I working on now that promises me the kind of lifestyle I want? There's a book called The One Thing. I don't know if you've read it, but it teaches you to focus on one thing. You know the principle, there's a Yoruba proverb about a man urinating in one place. He will dig a hole with it, but if you scatter it around, they might not even know that you urinated in the area. But you are able to dig a hole. Why? With the power of focus. And so you must be able to say that what is the most important goal I have this year? That's what in the 110 Academy we call our umbrella goal. So every day, when you're writing your to-do list, ask yourself, what is that one thing that if I'm able to achieve it today, it will change where my life will end up? And then you pursue that thing with undivided devotion. Like I said, before 7 a.m., start the first thing you need to do about it. There are people that when they wake up in the morning, they should send reminders to the people that are holding their money. When I say holding their money, I mean the people that are able to give you doors of opportunity. I don't mean the people owing you. Because some of you borrow people money without being banks, and then you're now doing debt collector. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the relationships that show you what your future should look like. The connections you need to make, the networks you need to build. Focus is waking up and sending those messages. Some of them, you are just thanking them for the opportunities they gave you yesterday, to remind them that you are still there. So that when the opportunity passes by, they will call you and not the next person. But every day, you must have at least that one goal that will change your life and move you fast. If you have it every day, then definitely it won't be hard to know what your focus is this week. Then definitely it won't be hard for you to know what you are putting in place this month. Whatever it is, when you're thinking about it, it must be something that has the power to deliver to the future that you desire. What am I saying? Your goals are your compass. No matter how fast you are going, without direction, you might be going around in circles and not going anywhere. Savers. Your practice of the 2020 be around your goal in life. What do you want? And then you break it down. And when you break it down, you take the most important one. You take the one with the greatest power to move you forward, and you act on it. So be like the post-it stamp. Stick to one thing until you get it done, and then move to the next step until everything is done. Now, between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m., that's when you now work on your goals. However, you must be able to do these things to get results. Work blocks. There must be a time of your day. You know, when we're talking about billionaires at the start, I mentioned that some of them have a time of the day that you cannot see them. If you are available to everybody every time, you will never have time to work on your own goals. You must be able to dedicate that between the time I get to my office and 10, I'm not seeing anybody. I'm working to achieve my own goals. Why? Because people will make sure that you achieve their goals first. What is urgent to them and not urgent or important to you will suddenly become urgent and important because you have allowed them interrupt your day. If you have drawn up your to-do list and you have arranged it in order of priority and put the one that has the most important effect on your life on top, do that one thing first before you attend to anybody else. What does that mean? It means that there's a time when your social media notifications are turned off. As a matter of fact, they should be turned off permanently. You shouldn't check social media until you choose to. Personally, I don't like phone calls. Why? Because they make me stop whatever I'm doing. So I would rather you send a text that I can read when I have your time than you call me. Because if you call me, you will force me to leave what I'm doing concerning my own goals and my progress to attend to your own. So send me a text. I will always reply. Don't call me. If you call me, well, if my phone is on silent in my drawer, at the time I have blocked, what will happen? Minimal meetings. Only high-value conversations are permitted. No standing meetings without purpose. So what happens when somebody says, "Ma, I would like to see you"? The first question is, what about? Somebody called me yesterday and said, "Are you coming to Lagos this week?" I said, "Why?" Now, I had a reason to go to Lagos. So I said, "Why?" She said, "So that I can give you feedback from the meeting I attended." I said, "Why do I need to wait to come to Lagos to get feedback? Send a voice note." Why are we blocking our time and changing our location to go and find out what we can find out by phone call? When, by the time they sent the voice note, it was less than 1 minute. So I was going to go to Lagos for a 1-minute conversation. The cost of going to Lagos, the risk of being on the there's so many things to discover. If we studied economics, we will understand opportunity cost. If you understand that meeting you are going to attend for 1 hour, sometimes it's virtual, sometimes you need to leave where you are to go for that meeting. It's costing you something else. Then you will reassess whether you need to be there or not. If it's a meeting somebody else can attend on your behalf, please by all means don't go. If it's a meeting that can be done online, please by all means don't go. If it's a meeting in which you have no contribution, whatever you say will not make a difference, why are you going? Let them decide and tell you what they have decided. Especially all those family meetings. Boy, if you say it's pink, you like, it's purple, they will pick. Why are you going? So let them pick. The color of the cloth does not affect the quality of your life. Especially family meetings. Those ones used to annoy me. The person has lived and gone. All of you are now putting your life on hold because of the party. Eh? So minimal meetings. If it is not going to push you forward towards your goals in life, tell them to send you the minutes. You don't need to be there. If it does not align with your goals, and that's why it's important every morning when you practice savers, remind yourself of what you are looking for in life. If you have reminded yourself of what you are looking for in life, the minute the meeting comes, always, anybody that invites you for a meeting, your first response should be, "Send me the agenda. What do we want to discuss?" The minute you review the agenda, what happens? It determines for you whether you are going or not. If you now say, "Send me the agenda," and they say they don't have, doesn't that automatically tell you it's a waste of your time? As a matter of fact, I will encourage everybody to understand the value of their time. Take an average month, how much you make. Divide the hours in the month into how much you make. Don't forget to deduct sleep hours, because if you don't sleep well, you will not make that money. Deduct your sleep hours. Divide the remaining hours into how much money you make. Understand the cost of 1 hour of your time. When you know the cost of 1 hour of your time, you will know some things you should not be doing. Some people are still washing clothes by themselves so that they will not buy a washing machine. Meanwhile, washing machine, you can put the clothes inside and go and do something else. Anytime you remember, you go and spread it. If you know the value of your time, you will not wash clothes. Sometimes you will not wash plates. You will get somebody else to do it. It's the value of your time. If you know that if you have time to something else, this is how much money I'll be able to produce, then you would apply it to what will produce you better results than to be doing things you have no business doing. Understand the value of your time and then know the kind of meetings you can agree to. Release distractions. And when we say distractions, don't think there is just social media. There was somebody that said she wanted to see me. And I said, sorry. I had just one answer in January for anybody that wants to see me in February. I'm not available in January. I don't even want to know what, there's no, when they invite for me, I say ask for agenda. There was no, what's the agenda? I'm not available. See you in February. If it's urgent, you will write. Instead of saying you want to see me. If it's not urgent, come back in February. So in February, the lady came back and said, that time, she was depressed. She thought she was going to die. I said, you are here. Glory to God. She now said, and I said, you were depressed. Should I? I'm not a counselor. I'm not a therapist. Talking to me is not going to save your life. I don't know how to save you from depression. Should I arrange a session? It's one message I will send to the therapist that will say, no, she doesn't want therapy again. She wants massage. Masseuse, give her massage. That is it. But people will make you think that they will drop dead if you don't answer them. And that's how they lay a demand on your time. They lay a demand on your resources. We have heard the story of someone that paid for somebody's exam, maybe for course. And the person was not even that interested in the course. After 2 weeks, he stopped going. Opportunity cost. What if she had applied that money to something else that had the promise of delivering her future? Experience is not the best teacher. You don't have to experience it by yourself. She has experienced it. Don't go through the same thing. Understand your priorities. And release distractions. I'm saying this so that you know that people can be distractions. There are some people that were sent to make sure you don't get where you want to go. As soon as they're making progress like this, they will come. And they will come and scatter the energy you have built up. You don't know those people that drain energy. They will just come. Every bad thing in the world has happened to them. And they like to come and morning. They will now lament 2 hours. By the time they go, the things you wanted to do, you can't even remember them again. The energy you had before they came, you don't. Relationship tree. What does our mentor say we should do? Shake it. Let the rotten ones fall off. Anybody that does not feature in your future, let them go. You cannot be friends with you where they are going. I had a friend that said, you did not ask me how far. How far with what? I'm planning a party. You did not tell me you didn't ask me who the decorator was. Am I coming to decorate? And then she got really angry. Very, very angry that I'm not a good friend because I'm not following up with the caterer. And I just realized that so when I'm the Minister of Finance and I'm going from ESCO meeting to World Bank meeting, you understand? I will not have somebody that said that will say that I did not collect a shoe size before going to you. You understand? Those kind of people cannot cope with the life you are seeing every morning. Don't wait to get there before you let them go, because they will say it's because of the money that has reached your hand. Say no now. But you see, it's not easy to say no if you don't know where you're going. See yourself in the future you picture and check, is this person compatible with my? Does this person have the requisite wisdom? Do they have words of advice they can give you? Even if it's encouragement, some people can be your support. But if that person has none of those things to offer you, what are you keeping them for? To drain you? If they're not adding to you, don't think they're just occupying space. They're taking away something that is very vital from you. The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. People will ask for your time. They will ask for your money. They will ask for your networks. You have to be very careful how you apply your energy. So how do you fuel your machine? You fuel your machine every day from 4 to 7 by focusing on yourself. If you have built yourself before you go out, you can build others. If you have studied and learned and read, you would have wisdom to advise others. But if you are depleting yourself by going to work every day, what will happen? You will experience burnout. So you must plan periods of solitude. When you come to a complex problem in your life, that's not the time to gather friends and families and well-wishers. That's the time to withdraw into yourself and ask, what is this? What has this challenge come to teach me? Is there another way to do what I'm doing currently and get better results? You must become familiar with personal retreat. And personal retreat does not mean you have to go to the UK. It does not mean that you are planning one expensive vacation. It just means that you are going to be by yourself, focusing on the things that matter to you. Another thing is eat well. If you check, there are foods that feed your intelligence. You'll be surprised. There are some foods that will make you smarter. That's what you should be eating. Billionaires have fixed eating times. You'll be shocked. They have timetable. They have what they eat. Check. What they eat is what they eat. They don't change it. If not anything, it saves them time. How many women here understand the problem of what are we going to eat? It's the biggest problem for any woman. What are we now going to eat today? What are we going to eat today? Do you know why you keep asking yourself that question? You don't have timetable. That's what we are eating. So the children that don't like beans know the day that they will not eat. Or the day they will buy bread and biscuits. That timetable is not going to change because of you. That's our timetable. The day that you're going to eat what you don't eat, make arrangement for yourself. That is our timetable. That's what makes the life of a billionaire successful. It's around a routine. What does that save you? You never have to sit down to start thinking, what are we going to eat? You have rescued that time. You can apply it to something else. You know, I've mentioned the value of your time and opportunity cost. You know your high value activities. Plug that time into high value activities. Another one is, what will I wear? You will now open the cupboard. The purple shoe does not go with pink shirt. Match everything before you buy it. Anyone you know the shoe, you know the skirt, you know the... You're not thinking about it anymore. You have established a routine. Same thing with food. The healthiest foods are the ones that are not preserved, that are not cooked, that are not over-processed. So, know when you eat your salad. Personally, breakfast, ask anywhere, is 2 boiled eggs and coffee. It does not change. That's what I have permanently for breakfast. The other ones, we cannot be saying I'm on a low-calorie diet. When I'm on a low-calorie diet, they know 3 times a week, you see food okra, no swallow. You have things, you have routines that does not stress you. Pick it, make it a lifestyle. If it is a habit, you will do it automatically. You don't need to start thinking or wondering about it. And then you can easily kick out the processed foods, the ones that are clogging people's hearts and giving them heart attack. You have already removed it. You have the timetable, you have the meal prep, you've done everything. You've bought what you need to buy. You are not quickly sending one child to the junction to go and buy fufu when the other one is looking for where they have gbegiri that is sweet. You already know. And so you don't waste time. And then you are able to even plan around the high energy, high intellect foods that you need. Also, use technology. There are some things we should not be doing again, like thinking that you want to write letter. You are now thinking. Let me even quickly mention, it's from Mrs. Ogundeji that I realized that AI, the one on WhatsApp, used to listen to voice notes. I will now type again in this line, God forbid. I dictate, please, I need a letter to ask for a sponsor for blah, 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 blah. Send, letter, daddy. So why would I ever waste my time doing that again? Technology can take you several steps faster. Technology will remind you of what food you are supposed to eat at what time. Just enter your timetable into it. As a matter of fact, you have one resource somewhere, you want to write a proposal based on that thing you did 5 years ago, upload the file to your AI. Or you are based on documents, create is over. 5 minutes. What you would ordinarily have used 5 hours to do. Leverage technology, use reminders. Put your calendar on your Google Calendar. It will remind you of every meeting. As a matter of fact, it will send reminders to everybody that is supposed to meet with you too. So why are you still working hard instead of working smart? So what do you do at night? Because the morning that will be sweet is from the night that you will know. So what do you do? This one, I'm not there yet. We'll work on it. Phones off or in flight mode by 7 p.m. I still have meetings at 9. God will help us. We will get there. But you know that you are targeting something. Bear it in mind that your phone has to go off. I understand by those that have studied medicine that the blue light that comes from your phone actually prevents you from sleeping. Many of them have said that there are radiations from your phone that actually disturb your health. So it's not a bad idea to sleep in a different room from your device. It shouldn't be on your bed. It shouldn't be by your bed. Put it some distance away. Have a curfew. Tell yourself, at this time, I'm going to sleep. And at least 1 hour before that time, stop pressing your phone. Put it away. It requires discipline, yes. There might be emergencies. If there's an emergency, let them call your neighbor, or your husband, or your wife, or your son. Don't let them call you. Why? Let them know that, by this time, we will not be able to reach her again. Also, sleep by 10 p.m. If you are going to wake up by 4, how will you get 6 hours if you don't sleep by 10? You won't. And that's why you sometimes wake up with a headache, you sometimes wake up angry. That 10 sounds like, I can't remember the last time I slept at 10. But I mentioned that I needed to even go and see doctors to replace my sleep pattern. But I found out that there's a way you can sleep. Your body will release hormones that will make you sleep at 10. Yes. So lie down, don't do anything. All that one of counting sheep is too far. Just lie down, don't do anything. Start practicing that meditation that we say you should start with in the morning. Don't worry, sleep will come. But your body gets used to what you introduce it to. It's just a matter of time. Your body would adjust. Also, have evening rituals, the things you do to wind down. An important part is thinking about everything that went well today. Another one is, as you're thinking about everything that went well today, write down everything you need to do as a consequence of the things that happened today. It makes creating your to-do list in the morning so much easier. How? You have already written down everything you need to do. You just need to prioritize. Which one of all these things I've written down has the greatest power to move me forward in the achievement of my goals? And then you put that as number 1. So you can actually jumpstart the work of your gratitude journal, jumpstart the work of your to-do list at night by doing a mental dump. By virtue of everything I've seen today, you do A, B, C, D, E, V, just write down everything. As a matter of fact, the difficulties you encountered, what can I do to make sure they never happen again? Write it down. And then you begin to take them out one by one when you're writing your to-do list. Dalai Lama says sleep is the best meditation. The good thing about writing the things you want to achieve before you go to sleep is that while you are asleep, your subconscious that does not sleep is working on finding a way to make those things happen. So when you wake up in the morning and you are inspired, you have prayed, you have meditated, and you want to write how to do it, ideas will come. Good book that promises you the future you want. Ideas of what to do to get there, they will come naturally and easily. But then, what do you meditate on before you go to sleep? That's what determines the kind of ideas you will have. If you are busy thinking about the clouds and not the silver lining, you might have nightmares. So what are the core principles of the day in rounding up? The goals are the compass. What determines how you spend your day is what you want from your life. The first thing you need to do is get clear, absolute clarity on what you want from life. Where are you going? How do you plan to get there? Define your destination and then make sure that you manage your time to get there. Don't let other people's destination determine what you do with your time. Master your morning. Either you're doing the safest way or you're breaking it into bands of 20 minutes. Own your morning and let your morning define how your day will run. Routine beats willpower. So from today, decide already the things you are going to change about the way you live that are going to deliver to you the kind of results you want. And also, every day, make sure that you have that one thing that promises a change in the kind of results you get. Of course, if you do it every day, then you have your priority focus for the week. Also, align your body with the sleep pattern. Many of us are used to going back to sleep. That's why it's not that you will not wake up when you should. It's that you will say, it's already morning. You now begin to have conversations that make you not want to get up, that let you sleep back. So sleep on time. Early to bed, early to rise. Wealthy, healthy, and wise. Is there anything you are looking for outside of these three? I don't think so. So if you sleep early and you wake up early, you would get there. Practicing these things we have spoken about. So release distractions, avoid social media, avoid useless books, negative people. Now, when we say useless books, every book you pick up, you must be able to say what you know it will give to you. Some people read comics. It might be that they need a lift in their spirit. Some people read novels. It might be that they need to learn more words to be able to present effectively. But if you don't have a why, that's where there's a problem. Have a why. For some time, I read newspapers because they were calling me into current affairs discussion. There's a reason for reading that newspaper. And as soon as I see 130 people die, I throw it under the table. It's not the news for me. If you are used to looking for things to be grateful for, you will know how to read newspaper. You will read somebody won grant. They have discovered the cure for something. Those are the things you will see. Train yourself to see the right things. So start small, start now. You don't need to change everything at once. It will become a challenge. You know that we have said that willpower is that decision, but your routine builds willpower. So why don't you change one thing per time? Create a routine around that one thing, and then change the next thing until your life begins to look like exactly what you need it to look like. So, wake up early. Practice savers. Sleep earlier. I've actually noticed, for 1 week now, I've been sleeping by 9:30. Anybody that speaks to me after 9:30, they get their answer in the morning. Not that it's just happening, because I wanted to change my sleep pattern. And I did it 1 day, 2 days, and then automatically I start feeling sleepy at a particular time. So focus on changing your mind first and your habits so that you can change your life. Billionaires don't chase money. The money comes because they have mastered the power of focus and the time and their habits to feed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, God. Thank you so much. We're not clapping very well. We can do better. Thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate it. There's a event.
Dr. Sheon Olamitoye, please let's give him a round of applause. Thank you for helping us to rewire our brain about savings. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. So we're going to question and answer session, but before that, let me quickly do this. Who else is joining us for the first time? First time, thank you. Let's clap for them. We love you. We appreciate you. And please, have you put down your phone number, your name, WhatsApp number, so that we can add it to our group? Thank you so much. We love you. So, do you have any question based on all that you've had today? All our speakers are still available. So, please, question. Anybody? Are we still thinking about question? There must be question. There must be question. Personally, Mrs. Olajumoke Caxton Martins, she's an inspiration. Yes. So my own brain is getting hot. I don't know about your own. I have to go and begin to go download some more and begin to put those things to practice. Very, very important. You have to live the lifestyle of a billionaire if you want to become one. Yes. While you are thinking about your question, I want to ask for permission from Mrs. Olajumoke that can we do a challenge? Yes, you know these savers, majority of us are not doing it. Am I correct? Yes. Can we do a 1 month challenge, savers challenge? If you can, with our permission, you can. My WhatsApp number. I'm on the group 110 Academy WhatsApp group. Just send me a DM, and it's a challenge. 1 month, I will personally wake you up. And don't wake up and go back to sleep. So I will personally call you at that moment. I wake up before 4. My alarm goes off and I wake up. So the moment I wake up, I'll just, call you, then you must wake up. I'll just call you. If you don't do it, you are OYO on your own. So if you think you want to join 1 month savers challenge, 1 month. If you are able to do it for 1 month, like she said, I don't want to extend it to 2 months. You actually need 21 days to, form an habit. So 1 month, we've surpassed, 21 days. So if you want to do it, just send me a DM. I would say something on the WhatsApp